All right, we are live here, episode 4 of season 2, or is it season 2, episode 4, Military Grade Metal Podcast with your very own me, Rhett, and Mark
Bleep,
Slam
blorp,
Tomlin.
bleep.
Beep boop beep, beep
Beep,
boop
bop,
beep.
boop, beep, boopy, boop, boop. We need
Well,
to do a whole 10 minutes and just robot talk one morning.
yeah, that would be riveting just to hear us robot talk.
I'm trying to
Wonderful.
imagine if I was driving down the road to work and I heard that. You know how you get on those drives. You're kind of brainless, just driving down the road. I would probably let it play
Yeah, probably. Just keep it going
and listen to it.
over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
You can, it's like green noise or something. Like when I go to sleep, I put on a box fan or green noise. Green noise makes weird noises in my brain. It's really
What
confusing.
is green noise an actual term? Because white noise and pink noise are very real.
Yeah, green noise is awesome, but it seems like it's repeating itself for like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. Seems like forever. There's something,
Yeah.
but it's just like, it sounds like white noise, and then there's something else there that I just count. And what's really weird, and I think it's just the schizophrenia inside my brain, is it sounds different when I turn my head and from different ears. So if I'm sleeping on my left side, it's just weird.
That is not the schizophrenia in your brain. You are experiencing weird phasing and stereo representation. That is a very, very real thing.
Okay, I have no idea what you just said there, so we'll go with it.
So your eyeballs and this is actually perfect for what I wanted to bring up too. It literally lines right up with it. So check this out. Your eyeballs, your nose, and your mouth are in the center of your two ears, right? So in your brain, when you hear stuff and it's coming head on, you sum it up to be in the center of your face, right? Same reason. This all falls in line with why the mixing position is back and an equilateral triangle from the two speakers on each side is because at the mix position, you want to hear the most accurate stereo representation of your mix as possible. Now that, unfortunately, that is the only position in the whole room that hears it like that. And it's very small. It's not big. So yeah, it's a real conundrum in the mix world, but that's why when you turn your face and your ears are picking up the noise from different positions now, it phases. That's that weird that you hear. That's called phase cancellation, and it's making your brain all fucked up because you want the stuff to be at a different position.
Well, there you have it. Directly from Mark Slam, Dr. Tomlin, the Wikipedia of medicine. Always spot on.
The Wikipedia of medicine. Yep, you nailed it. That's it.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Now, it really does fall in, though, Rhett, because I've been looking. So the biggest thing in my world right now, and I guess after I get this taken care of, I'll start looking at stuff like a camera and things like that. But the biggest thing in my world right now is I'm very, very close on my journey to being completely self-contained as an audio guy. And that's why I can look at some of the stuff like I sent you yesterday. You know, if the time lines up, I just might be able to take one because I've got all my own gear and I literally just need to run a Cat 5 cable from my position to the stage. Bam, we're good to go, right?
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I'm starting to look at, so currently I mix console hardware and innards only, meaning all the plugins that come on my console, like compression and stuff like that. But I'm really tempted to take this next step forward and go with something like the Waves Super Rack. And what that does is it lets me use DAW style plugins, so digital audio workstation stuff like Pro Tools and Ableton, that type of stuff that lives in your computer. It lets me process like that at that professional of a level. Then it spits that mix back out into the PA system. So everything comes in through my board. The signal then gets routed to a computer that I also have plugged into my board. It gets processed on the Waves Super Rack plugins, whatever I choose for each track. Then it gets sent back to the board and back out. But it's a hefty investment. It's definitely work it. It's definitely worth it to kind of take that next step up to professional sounding audio, but it is quite an investment. So I'm doing all my video watching. My boss over at the Aztec is going to let me come over and kind of borrow his Waves card rig so I can see how it works and see if it's something that really fits in my workflow. But I am stoked about it in a nerd way.
You definitely went nerd on us. You went high and right on the nerds.
I told you the stereo ear concern was right up my alley.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Hey,
didn't
you mention something way back when we talked to Eric from Bloodkarsk? You mentioned you like start with drum tracks when writing songs, and we just did our interview that we're going to release here pretty soon with In Mourning out of Sweden.
In Mourning!
What?
I was just saying In Mourning really loud. I have fallen in love with that band since we did the interview.
Oh my God, they're awesome, ain't they?
Yes, man. It's just a refreshing take on metal for me. I mean, I feel like I'm stuck in this deathcore world, and then they hit me with all the epicness that I want and the beauty.
Well, I think it's the technical perspective, the technical aspect that you really like, and they do it with a smile.
Yeah.
They do it with a smile. So it's like they're so fun to watch live, right? And they just are really fun guys on stage. You can see them smiling and just having a good time in the music, in the moment.
Yeah, they're loving it.
Yeah, they're having fun with their stuff, So I'm really excited about that. But that interview is going to come out here pretty soon. We're working on finish cleaning up and get it ready to push out for everybody's enjoyment. But
yep.
I remember we even asked this question too In Mourning, but way back in the day, you said you start with the drum track. Is that like universal, or does, guitarists have one way, whoever's in charge of the band type thing, like, Dave Mustaine from Megadeth it's like, hey, here's what it's in my head and I'm going to riff it out. And then you guys are going to build the drums, the bass.
Everybody molds around his idea. Right. No, that's actually kind of shocked and proud that you asked this question, because that is a next level music listener question. And I want to say you may have just graduated from consumer listening only to intellectual listening.
So I have my GED in intellectual listening. Okay.
I think GED is perfect. Yes, you absolutely have that. So to answer the question, I need to first start at, there's a difference between when you're going in to record something for a production, and you know what? No, there's not. I'm a fucking idiot. There isn't a difference. I'm going to start with drums either way. Now, when the song hasn't been thought about yet and you're writing a new song, right? That's where I think your idea comes in, where especially the Dave Mustaine situation, where he's going to write what he thinks is the next hit song on guitar, and then everyone else is going to come in and write around what he created on the guitar, right? Drummers, believe it or not, I can see some of them that want to like write this drum beat and then have a song written to it. But to be honest with you, drummers tend to really know their place. And I don't mean anything by that, drummers. This is actually a great quality for a drummer to have. The job of the drummer is to, one, keep time of the music. That is the first and foremost. That's why they are always the ones that want to have experience with a metronome. Their job is to keep time. Now, a good drummer, their job is to keep time and have that timing sound awesome as fuck on stage during the song. So adding in toms. All that said, Rhett, most drummers really do understand that they need to drum to something, right? It's rare that someone's going to want to write a drum track first. But with all that being said, at the live side, I do start with drums. Like when I get up there to sound check a band, I am going to always start with the drums, and I'm going to bring the kick in first, get that thing up to where the loudness level for that venue is, or where the acceptable threshold is. And then I'm going to bring in everything else, kick, snare, toms, moving on to the bass, moving on to the guitar. And then lastly, the vocals. And a new thing that I've been doing is instead of having them all play a song at one time together and kind of tighten the mix up, I like to let the instruments go first, get that instrument mix nice and tight, and then bring in the vocalist so I can make sure that he's sitting on top. The vocals are always the problem child of every mix. You know what I mean? There's just so many variables there. And then you've got whatever attitude the vocalist might have to deal with. So I like to isolate the vocals as much as possible. But yes, start with drums.
You've had a lot of practice here recently in the past few months. I mean, you're all over the place playing some pretty big gigs. You're playing all the big venues there in San Antonio. How's that been going?
Yeah, it's been fun. Learning a lot.
How is it meeting all those different interesting folk when it comes to these bands that are coming through?
Oh man, it really is a dream come true. I think that's the best way to describe it. But that's a good question because it's in a different way than a lot of people think. I've been meeting the crews and most of the time the members of a lot of bigger, more national acts for sure. And some of them are super, super cool, ultra cool even. But some of them are definitely not. And it's one of those, you said it earlier on so well. Meeting your heroes is a real weird thing because when they turn out to be awesome people, it's a great day for you. But when they turn out to be gigantic pieces of shit, then you're like, oh man, now I've got to reevaluate my whole life. Did I even have fun at the pool when I was listening to this dude when I was 10? I don't even know anymore. It's one of those.
Am I gonna have to sell this T-shirt on eBay now? I feel bad.
Yeah, I don't even want it in my house anymore. I mean, it really is one of those things. But I will say that for the most part, it has been awesome. And the one instance I'll relate it all to is a couple of weeks ago, months, I guess now, I had just gotten back from my first tour run. Oh my God. It puts the lotion on its skin.
Oh, that was a big burp. Off your burp.
Rhett's over there blinking like a motherfucker. Is that a power surge or family issues?
It's something. I'm crying right now, but I'm good. I'm going to be okay.
All right. We're pushing on. Yeah. So right after I got back from my first experience on the road as an audio guy, I got right back into the mix here. I want to say my first show was literally Asking Alexandria and Memphis Mayfire at the Aztec. So we're checking Asking Alexandria, and by we, I mean they definitely have their own crew and team. So I'm just assisting their guys with whatever they need, showing them what they need to know about the system and stuff like that. But I had my Discoveries T-shirt on, and their monitor engineer comes over. He's like, "Hey, man, that's a nice disco shirt." And I was like, "Yeah, thanks. If you've ever seen them, they're pretty good. I was their audio guy on the road a couple months ago or a week ago at that point." And he was like, "Oh, man, yeah, I ghostwrite most of their songs. Tell them you ran into me, man. They'll be fucking tripped out." So I hit him up in the chat and I was like, "Guys, y'all didn't tell me that you've got friends on the crew of Asking Alexandria." No, it was From Ashes to New. It was From Ashes to New, that band. It was that show. There's been so many. But those instances, Rhett, super cool. The crew was cool. The artist would come over side stage and be bullshitting between songs and we'd just be laughing and joking. Super, super cool group of dudes, right? But you do get those groups that come in and if their hospitality rider isn't exactly right or they only got 3 Bic lighters instead of 4, and they start showing their ass, that's when I mean, you're going to do whatever you got to do to get through your day at work. But my opinion of you might change a little bit at that point.
No, that's a good point. The shit, I lost my train of thought there. Okay, doesn't matter. You shouldn't lose your train of thought.
It's few and far between. I think the bad ones are few and far between, but the good ones are really quite abundant, and it's a pleasant thing to experience. But you've talked about this a lot, so I think you have a story where maybe you met a hero and it wasn't what you thought it was.
Yeah, so it was a band out of Europe that I still love, still enjoy. And I got to meet him, and it was the conversation.
I got to meet him.
Yeah, I got to meet the whole band, and it was a long time ago. It's been 14 years now when I met them.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
And I'd been a huge fan since about 96. I think 96 is whenever I became a huge fan. And I got to be, they seemed like they were bored. They weren't interested. And so so then I was
What
like,
do you mean? Like when they were talking to you or on stage?
no, when they were talking to me.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
And so as we're kind of talking, I'm trying to make small talk. They're a bit snarky. So I was kind of bummed. I was kind of bummed out about that. So I was like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I still love these guys. I love them a little bit less. You know, they're still in my top 10, but they're no longer my number one. And so I was like, I'll never do that again. So what did I do? So we did it again. And but this time it was Amorphous is my favorite band. And this time around, and I'm going to see him here pretty soon, but we'll talk about that in a second. But so I go to see Amorphous, and this was in Tampa, down in Ybor City.
Of course, it was in Florida.
Yeah, way back in like 20. When was I there? 2015, 2016. And I took a buddy of mine, and so I get the package where I get to go meet the band beforehand. There's like 15 people, all nerds and mega fans.
Dude, that is actually quite hilarious.
Yeah.
You got the VIP meet and greet.
Yeah, and that's all I did, right? And I'm going to see Amorphous, and Tommy Yeltsin, the lead singer, who I just total fanboy for. I love his voice, I love his style. It just everything he does is great. So I meet the band, and I'm just giddy. But the band was really cool and engaging, and they were asking me questions instead of me trying to.
Good.
Yeah. And Tommy Yeltsin didn't say a word, and he's like biting at his throat. He's trying to save his voice, but he was but his body language is still positive. He was, he's put his arm around me. We got great pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Because I thought you were about to do a bad story about Amorphous, and I know how much you like them.
Oh yeah. No, it's a totally positive story. And I'm actually going to see them with Dark Tranquillity in September. So,
now we've got a tie-in there. I feel like we've talked about Dark Tranquillity a lot and their relationship with maybe one of the members in Mourning. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, the drummer is now from In Mourning is now the drummer with Dark Tranquillity. So it's going to be really cool. So if I get a chance to hit him up, I'll throw Tim and Bjorn's name out there, say hi. But yeah,
it was so awesome talking to those dudes.
Yeah, and it's like it's great to see the success of the other band members as they go out and continue on into other directions, And it's not like anybody's angry that the drummer's now playing for Dark Tranquillity. I mean, they're excited for him, right? They're excited for themselves, and
dude,
you don't realize how big they are, man.
Yep, 100%. Believe it or not, this sort of thing comes up all the time, especially with bands that maybe are at the local level and they're about to break through, and then one of their members gets offered a spot with someone major, you know what I mean? And they end up taking it to follow their dream, or I guess it gets evaluated, but it can go either way, and that warms my heart to know that they went the way of congratulations. We are so happy.
That's another thing that makes that band special, right? That positive attitude when they're on stage playing their 10-minute songs, right? They got like a 20-minute set.
Oh,
they can play two songs.
Is Dark Tranquillity is one of those?
You know what? I've seen them live once, but I listened. I remember they mostly played hits, and they're not as long as In Mourning, but they're a lot of fun. And it's so funny because it's like one of those dual headliners. Amorphous and Dark Tranquillity kind of go back and forth, and depending on, so I'm not sure who's headlining this time. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty stoked about going to see them. And
what venue are you going to see that at?
It's a medium-sized venue. I'd say it's kind of like the Aztec, and then in San Antonio. So, but I'm going down to Portland and I didn't write down. I can't remember which. I think it. So it might be
You know,
Roseland Theater.
if I didn't know any better, I would say you're developing a little bit of a metal crush on
Oh, you have
Portland.
no idea. So I would rather. Well, there's a lot of things going for Portland, right? So my sister and her boyfriend, they live in downtown Portland, like downtown Portland.
Oh, so okay, yeah, you got that right there. Family, when you're in the military, that's a rare
Right.
occurrence to have family that close. Yeah, that right there is enough that would drag my ass down to
Yeah.
Portland.
So, we take full advantage of the 2 years that we're going to be here to see my sister as much, but everyone jokes, but I like her old man better. And so Ryan's my +1 to all these concerts. So he goes to all these
Nice.
concerts. He goes with me to Daytona 500 every year. He goes to these concerts. So
Okay.
we have a lot in common. I think my sister's dating her brother, which is just disturbing. But whenever we're besties, her old man and I, it's pretty cool to see, and it's just super convenient, right? Because now I can go down there. It's only an hour and 45-minute drive. I go down there after work. We Uber it down to the venue. We have a good time. I stay the night at their house, and I either hang out the next day. I don't have a long drive to come home, or we spend another day there, and I make a whole weekend out of it. Bring the kids and the family, bring the wife and kids, or don't. But it's that tie-in, right? So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I've been down there quite a bit recently. I went down there now it's been a month and a half or so. Been a while since we talked, but I went down there I did the commissioning ceremony for the Air Force ROTC at the university, and but also before that, I went down there to see Amon Amarth, Cannibal Corpse, Obituary, and Frozen Soul.
Oh yeah.
What a great show. So I left work on a Friday, and a couple of friends from work, a friend Cynthia, and she brought another one of her friends. We all worked together. So we met up down there at the venue, for right at the beginning, and then went to our seats, because we actually had to go to seats in this one, because it was the big the Trailblazers play. And
no, I thought that show was coming through the Aztec, but it wasn't. It went to Techport.
Yeah, they're just so big now. And so what I did do, I got section 300, so it's the nosebleeds all the way up at the top. But row A. So we're the first row. So all I have blocking my view from the entire venue is this bar,
open space above the other rows.
Right. So when I stood up, everyone behind me had to look at my dumb head. But when I stood up, it didn't matter. I could see whatever I wanted to see.
Memphis Mayfire.
Yeah. And it was well, that's not Memphis Mayfire. That was Memphis Mayfire fans.
Yeah, you're right. You are correct, and that is very important to distinguish. Yes,
because we love Memphis Mayfire, but that fan was a jerk.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, that's another story for another podcast, which I think we already talked about, but we'll probably talk about it again. Being in row A,
I can talk about that for the next few years. It's going to hold a special place in my heart for sure,
dude. But this one I had another show stealer, and this is my third time seeing Amon Amarth. I've seen Amon Amarth now in Kansas, Australia, and Portland.
Okay. Oh, Australia. Oh, at Knotfest.
Yeah. So now it's like I've seen these guys for over a decade now, transcending over a decade. Yep. And Amon Amarth puts on a great show. And that new song, "Put Your Back Into the Oar." They get again the same thing. They got the whole crowd to row. And,
So okay, pause. Yeah. We need to talk about this. It's like when one of your buddies is getting real sick or something, and you're kind of just letting them feel it out, maybe go to the doctor on his own type thing, and then he'll get better. But he doesn't do that, and then he just keeps getting a little more sicker and sicker. So you have to actually talk to him. That's what's happening right now. We need to talk about the row versus the pit. and what types of people like
Yeah,
each.
well,
So,
also, I'll just add on to this.
okay.
Frozen Soul, who was the opener, put
Oh,
on.
don't tell me, please no. Don't tell me they did some weird alt pit thing.
They made everyone do push-ups.
Oh, no. That is literally the second one. I was about to drop the push-up pits before you said that, and it's Frozen. That hits me right in the dick, man.
Yeah,
That one is a stinger for me.
yeah,
I love Frozen Soul.
yeah. That, and I'll tell you what, they put on a terrific show. Their set was a shortened set. I think they had 30 minutes to play, maybe
I was gonna
40.
say that's more of a where are you on the bill thing though, because when that came through Rockbox, it was their show and they played a full hour.
Yeah, they played a
Even
nice.
after the subs caught on fire.
Hey, don't worry about the subs catching on fire. That was
Yeah, we're just gonna keep firing on them.
We're just gonna let's get until smoke just billows out. Yeah, but they did their standard set. So between the row and their push-ups, which I thought was kind of gross, the row you're sitting down in sweat, filth, and
Well, no, it's okay. It's okay, Rhett. Here's what I was gonna say. You have, and this is, we need one of these because we're so much alike in the metal area. Like we need that one thing where we are just not the same on it. And maybe this is it. So you've got your two types of pit people. You got your push-ups. I swear I literally was going to tell you. You got your row and push-up people. Before I had any idea that Frozen Soul did that. And then you've got like your classic push pit people. And this actually is a third one, but I'm going to lump them all together. Those karate kick, like dancing people. You got that stuff. And then the circle pit also on that side. Now, while I know you're a circle pit guy, you are definitely also a row push-up pit guy. And I tend to be less of one of those. And Rhett, you know what? I don't even know why. I just know that when I'm at a show and I see it happen, I'm like, I would much rather see a larger redo of the chaos at Paleface at Rockbox than a huge
so you
row
want
pit.
complete unorganized chaos, where I'm more of the organized chaos.
I want to believe in anarchy again. Yeah.
So you're a big fan of the Wall of Death.
I'm a huge fan of the Wall of Death. I fucking did you see Alex Terrible's world record Wall of Death like a fucking week ago? Oh my god.
Yeah. Just amazing.
It was sick. Yeah, dude. So okay, there's actually I don't do input video here's a lot, but I think I've got a good. So when it comes to me and where metal really hits me right in that sweet spot of epicness and oh my god, I might be in danger. You know what I mean? That type of feeling. The Chariot. There is this old band called The Chariot, and they have a video of one of their shows, and it was like a rock box sized room with maybe smaller, like a 300 person type of room. And they're up there about to start their first song. And the minute the first note happens, the bassist runs off the stage and jumps into the crowd. And they literally carry him for like the whole first half of the song. The singer runs across the heads of the crowd, like literally runs out, head stomping on these people. It is chaos, dude. And the people on the stage, the ones left up there to rock out, are just looking like absolute crazy people. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. And it is just this beautiful thing to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. That is so nice. And just, I love when someone does something different, Bleed From Within. Remember when the lead singer went out and like stood on top of the crowd to finish up the product?
So awesome.
Just absolutely gorgeous.
And that's another one of those things that really ties right back in with our front row concert goers. Hello, warning, if you were stupid enough to not know, things happen at the front row of metal concerts and you got to be ready.
Yeah. And that's, Portland, I expect everybody from Portland to be weird. And
Yeah, they're kind of soft about that stuff, aren't they?
Yeah, they're they're a little bit, hey, be weird as long as it's like me. Cause
Oh
I get in the
yeah.
mosh pit and I'm doing my thing, being a dumb idiot, right? And I bounce up against this dude and I put my arm around him and I'm jumping up and down, and now I'm like 3 rows away. And it's similar to your story where that guy kind of swelled up on us
No, yeah.
because you're
Yeah.
tall. And this guy's like, get your effing arm off me, bro. And I'm like, dude, hey, we're in Portland. Let me be me. You're in a mosh pit.
Yeah.
This is what you get. I'm not gonna sit here and all cuddly
Play your little game of oh no, friendly mosh pit. Yeah.
No, you're here. You're protecting your girl. I respect that. I'm not gonna hurt her, but you and we're gonna dance. And so, I danced a little bit longer and he just gave me the stink eye and I'm like, haha, I win this one. Bye-bye. And I walk,
Oh yeah. And that's exactly how you got to handle it. Cause they're at every show and it's just, what it is I want to think of like a cool new term for it, but there is none. This is just true as time.
Yeah.
They're party poopers.
Yep. Party poopers, poopy pants party.
Party pooper.
Yep. So, hey, how's the weather there, man? Because it's 92 degrees here today. 92. We have heat warning.
Satan's asshole,
dude. Yeah, his grundle patch, right? I mean,
dude, we're rocking maybe 3 weeks now of just solid 100 degree days.
And you're cool down to like what, 90 or something
at night? Well, so yeah, actually at night I think it might be a little hotter. But when I go in early to the convention center, most of the time the car is already, and this is me leaving anywhere from 5:30 to 7, depending on what time I got to be there. The car is normally already reading like 88 to 97 or something.
Wow. So I went.
Yeah, like right before the sun comes up. I remember in the Army, that used to be the coldest part of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. The beginning, the BMNT, begin morning nautical twilight, right? Whenever it gets the coldest part of the day.
Where the sun pushes the rest of the cold air.
Yeah. But here today, a high of 92. We have heat warnings everywhere. We have cool down spaces, even on base.
Y'all got heat warnings for 92?
92. We're losing our minds here for 90. No air.
Oh man.
Nobody has air conditioning. There's no central air conditioning because it's never this hot. But I'll tell you what,
Now that's the stuff I forget about, Rhett. I forget about what matters locationally. Like just like here, air conditioning is so important. I mean, literally important that when your shit goes out, there are so many AC repair people here. Like it's a couple hours and you're fixed.
Yeah. Yeah. Not here. It's just the way it is, right? So it's a lot of window units, a lot of robots. Those little standalones. Right. We got a few of those robots, but for the people that don't have that, because these things are expensive. I mean, it's brutal, but there's no humidity. Hopefully there's a little wind, but I got up and I did a 10-mile bicycle ride today in spandex and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 59, and I usually don't ride anything below 65. So I froze my butt off. I'm freezing. So it's 59. It's going to get a high of 92. So that's a good 33 degree temperature swing. But yeah, it's nothing like what you guys go through.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, August is going to be crazy. Oh, and what's real crazy, Chancla Academy Rockfest got moved back to the Alamo Beer Company where it was the first year. And it is on August 3rd and 4th outdoors, and it is going to be hot.
Ouch.
Yeah, me and Rhett have direct experience with this.
Yeah,
and yeah, it is no fun. Let's hope that Chancla Academy Rock Festival at least experiences better times in other avenues than we did in our Sweat Fest last August.
Yeah. Yeah. So unfortunately, we're too busy this year to be able to do it again. But we're gonna.
Yeah.
But hey, so there's some decent shows coming up here. On 13 July in Tacoma, so it's right down the street. So Saturday.
Ooh, what do you have on 13 July? I'm working something 13 July.
I'm gonna go see As I Lay Dying, Chelsea Grin, and eTaL. I think it's eTaL. I don't know them.
I've been seeing that's going to hit vibes for sure. That is going to be a good show.
Yeah, pretty excited about going to that. So I'm gonna.
Man, this will be like the 4th time you've seen Chelsea Grin.
It's pretty common now. Yeah. So when was the last time I did see Chelsea Green? That was in Baltimore?
Baltimore Soundstage. Yep.
Yeah.
Left to Suffer,
Yeah.
Chelsea Grin, and was it Carnifex?
Yep, it was Carnifex because I got my wife and my daughter pink Carnifex hoodies.
Yeah, that's right.
So awesome. My wife wears that pink hoodie everywhere, and again, because it's cold every single day of the year, minus these 8 days of sun. But you can always see that girl in the pink hoodie walk with nondescript metal writing, and
here we go.
Walking her 2 pugs, and so
sang with Sugar Bog in it.
Yeah, just so. But yeah, so I think I'm going to hit that because that's next Saturday.
That's going to be a great show. I can raise you a show on that one. So, and I requested this show. I don't think I got it, but to be fair, it is going to be. Yeah, it is going to be quite a shit show on the production side. And I don't say that meaning that it's going to be a shitty show for anyone. It is just going to be a very busy day with a lot of moving parts. And that show is Summer Slaughter on July 28th at the Aztec. And it is going to be so
You need to pay attention. So I know you're going to get in there somehow because you're going to help out, but you have to watch Obituary. They stole the show at the Amon Amarth Corpse Obituary and Frozen.
I remember you telling me that, and tell me again, because I remember when you told me, I was listening to you and I was like, wow, Rett is not kidding here. He really had a steal the show moment with Obituary. You were saying their set was crazy good.
Yeah, and everything just lined up perfectly. And again, it's also the moment, how you're feeling, where your mind is when the music's playing.
It's also a lot the sound guy.
And the sound. And so they were hitting every mark perfectly. And the lighting on the show, they had some lasers and they had backlighting that was really cool.
Oh, yes, Rhett, keep going. I'm loving this.
Everything lined up perfect. So the lights and the sound and the energy of the band, and having my buddy with me, a full crowd. The crowd is all there now. It just everything fell into place for me in my mental state
for Obituary.
Now, and I'll tell you what, the graphics, or not the graphics, but the set, the props.
Yeah.
The props for Amon Amarth were unbelievable.
Oh, they have a very big, we call it a production, right? Like they have a very big professional production. They do those blow up dragons and stuff like that. It's super cool. Yeah, so that perfect segue into what I was going to say, Rhett. What you experienced is the harmony. You experienced that harmonic show that every sound guy, every light guy, even the band. I mean, every band, those are the shows that people live for. When everything is firing on all cylinders and it's clicking into place, you go to sound check and you're listening for something to tell the sound guy, and you just, God damn it, you just don't have anything for him. You know what I mean? He's crushing it today. Yeah. So now you're like, oh, okay, let me see how my lights are looking. And you can't find anything wrong with the lights. And then you come out on stage, y'all are all already in this state of harmony together where you're just almost like telepathically connected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you slay the show together. People underestimate the value of a production team that really clicks. I just had a show like that where I was working it, but I didn't touch a lick of their sound other than just helping them around the system and getting plugged in. But Tesla was like that.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That warms my heart.
Dude, their crew, it's because, like, think about Obituary, man. They're a 20-year fucking band. So their crew, I mean, they've got some of the best of their friends probably on that crew with them that know exactly what needs to happen. Cannibal Corpse is probably the same way. But again, you experienced a Click at Night where Obituary had a stellar evening. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it can't be underestimated. I think this is a great conversation because when you say something like Obituary had such a good show, to really know what that means, like knowing about that harmonic click between the band and their production team, and most concert goers don't even think about that, right? They just go there, they see the band, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's so loud, it's overwhelming, the lights are overwhelming. I feel like I'm on drugs." You know what I mean? That type of thing. But you now have that knowledge of what exactly went into making Obituary set so awesome tonight and that night, and that warms my heart.
Yeah, it was very fun. So but I know we kind of gone on a long thing here on
Yeah, well, that's what we do.
Yeah. Hey, did you ever listen to A Day to Remember?
Oh, fuck, man. Why are you bringing up A Day to Remember? They're not that they're a bad band. They're awesome. But here it seems like when I talk to sound guys, I'm trying to get like info on the road or whatever. Everybody bases their whole timeline on who is currently out with A Day to Remember.
Yeah, because
like it's a big thing here.
Wow, that's interesting because they're out with The Story so far and 4 Years Strong. They're playing in Seattle on a Monday, so I'm probably not going to make that one.
Well, yeah, and I think they're going to be an arena band, dude. Probably. Where are they playing?
WAMU. I know what WAMU stands for. Washington something. I don't know. Credit Union Theater or something. So they're playing at theater.
Okay, yeah. So it's going to be like an AT&T Center.
Yeah, interesting
type of deal.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's on a Monday. But also, well, coming in Thursday, I playing at Marymore Park. I don't even know where that's at in Redmond. I don't even really know where Redmond's at. It's close by. Primus. You remember Primus?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Did you ever get into them?
I probably got way more than I needed to be into Primus. To be honest with you,
do tell.
But yeah, definitely never saw him though.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen him live either. I think it'd be interesting, but I'm not going to be able to make that one either. That's a Thursday, and I'm not going to be in town. So
yeah, and for all of the potential young people in our group of 10, actually, I think we might be up to like 12 listeners now.
Yeah, we're up there. We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're skyrocketing through the ranks. But I think there might be some younger people that Rhett, it's been tripping me out a lot lately. I know you went through this a long time ago, but maybe you can help me through it. I'm in that point where I'm starting to say old things.
Yeah.
And it's becoming blatantly obvious. Like when I work at a conference center where most of the other workers are college kids. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait for Primus this week. They did the South Park song. And one of the kids is like, "What's South Park?" And I'm like, "Oh my fucking God!"
Yeah, that's embarrassing. Well, yeah, I totally get it. I'm pushing 50 here pretty soon, right? So it's like,
oh man, yeah, and, that's gotta suck.
Yeah, and one of the things I do, and now it's like I get together with other old people and play fucking cribbage.
Cribbage.
Yeah.
Or what's the other good gin rummy?
Yeah, and euchre and but yeah. So as my birthday's coming up here, I got it. So this is going to be probably my birthday band. Fallujah, Volvodenia. I don't know. Volvodynia. They're Persephone, and then Dawn of Ouroboros.
Wait, hold on, Red. Wait a minute. Did you say Persephone or periphery?
Persephone.
It's not. You sure it's not periphery?
When I was looking at it, I haven't listened to them yet, so I got to figure them out because I got distracted reviewing the opener, Dawn of Ouroboros, and so that's in Seattle at the Corazon, and it's a day before my birthday. So my birthday's on a Saturday. So they play on the 19th of July, and
you're gonna love that show.
I think so.
Fallujah is gonna kick ass, dude. We were just talking about a drummer being graduated to another band. Do you remember the Zabelian Triangle that we threw that show with Deco at?
Yep. Yep.
Their drummer, Aaron, they're also, by the way, doing crazy, crazy good. But their drummer plays and goes on tour with a lot of national acts, and Fallujah is one of them.
Wow. Cool. I'm all in, man. It's going to be a good time. But I went to go research Dawn of Ouroboros, female fronted band. So whenever I go into Spotify, I just typed in Ouroboros, and I started listening to Ouroboros, and they're out of Australia. And
Ooh, nice.
but not Dawn of Ouroboros. That's a completely different genre of music. So I'm sitting here cranking Ouroboros, and I mean they are good. Technical Death, I mean they are good. And so then I'm like, wait a second, I think this is the wrong band because I don't see the female lead. And I was wrong, Dawn of Ouroboros, but I discovered another band, Ouroboros,
on the journey.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought, but still, both bands would have fit that lineup very well. So that'll be interesting. And then I don't know anything about this band, but they're a bunch of Canadians. They're from Canada, Protest the Hero. Have you ever listened to them?
Oh man, yeah, they are. Not only are they pretty big, but they have been around for a while. Protest the Hero has been a thing for forever, it feels like.
Yeah, they got quite a huge following. I know that. So this next one, though, I think you're going to really like because we have one of these guys on our military grade metal shred sequence. I Declare War, Angel Maker, Vultures Above Us. Yeah, Vultures Above Us, Gouged, and Fauvism. They're playing at the Corazon as well Thursday. Corazon's got some kick-ass lineups, man. But
yeah, it seems like the Corazon might be the rock box of your city.
It's pretty impressive, man. The lineups are getting, but this is a natural thoroughfare, right? If you're coming from Canada you come into Spokane, that's a good 5 or 6 hour drive to Seattle.
What Canadian city is above you that's big?
Vancouver.
Okay, Vancouver. So the French side is the other side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got Angel in our shred sequence. I can't remember.
Oh, dude, we have Angel Maker's song Vengeance, which you can check out on all streaming platforms. I feel like Wayne's World right now with the Pepsi outfit on.
Yeah, hey, Wayne's World is the original military grade metal podcasters, right? Because they were talking about metal music in their parents' basement.
100%, dude. That is what. So before we need to have this bunny trail, but before we do, yes, we do have Vengeance by Angel Maker on the shred sequence. It was the song that got me into Angel Maker. Went out and saw them at the Vibes Big Room with Body Snatcher one time. They are an epic band. That's going to be a sick show.
Yeah.
But back to Wayne's World, the guitar tech. Frank Hannon's guitar tech for Tesla. That dude literally looks like something that stepped right out of the movie Wayne's World, dude. It was so crazy. He had that era mullet style long haircut, and it was jet black. He was like maybe in his mid 40s, but you could tell he was just still like, oh yeah, bro, that sort of thing.
Nice. Yeah, that's my era. That's my era that I grew up with. I grew up with the 80s butt rock sound. Tesla, one of my favorite bands of all time.
Oh, you would have had such a fun time. I was literally bullshitting with him. He was on my side of the stage, so we were just hanging out. Dude, I went to take a piss one time, and I came back around, and you know how Wayne's World jokes were like dirty for their time, but they were kind of clean dirty?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I come back and dude's got one of Frank's guitars between his legs, like acting like it's a dick, and he's rocking out on it. And then he put it back and he was like,
oh God, that's so funny. So perfect. So perfect.
But yeah, it fits. So again, just like you said, man, that whole crew, they jive.
Yeah. Yeah. And all right, last concert, and then we're gonna move on to life lessons. All right, so Mudvayne, All That Remains, and Megadeth are coming to the White River Amphitheater in Auburn Monday, 12 August. Another freaking Monday, man.
That is a Monday, but I would say that is almost a must-see. So our buddy Justin Vi that prints up our military grade metal and Wavestream Live merch, He actually sent me a text the day that the new All That Remains song came out.
Mhm.
And it is so good. Hold on, I gotta make sure I got the right name for it here. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
New release.
Mudvayne. I never listened to Mudvayne, so
Oh man, they are killing it. They're one of the only older metal bands. Divine is the name of the new All That Remains song.
okay.
But Mudvayne is one of those bands like, Motley Crue came back, and sure, for maybe a year it was nostalgic at best.
Yeah.
But it didn't really go over that well. And then you got multiple other bands that have just tried to make the comeback. Well, Mudvayne is one of those ones that I think, surprisingly to everybody, is slaying it. They're coming out and doing great renditions of their old tracks. They're in good enough shape to sound awesome. Their production team is kicking ass. They've got a song, Rhett, called World So Cold that you need to listen to.
Okay.
That song and one called Dig are probably their two top jams.
Okay. I will definitely get into that.
Mudvayne was like what I was getting into in high school when they were real big when Slipknot started. So it was always like Slipknot and Mudvayne and Disturbed. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, okay, but they're going. They're going to open up for Megadeth, so it's going to be awesome.
Well, and then then you got Megadeth.
Yeah, you can't.
Or Mustaine of Death, whatever you want to call it, but still.
Yeah, there was a picture of Metallica, and the meme said Dave Mustaine's Megadeth, Dave Mustaine's band before he fired all the members of his band, or something like that.
Oh God!
Yeah, and you could definitely tell that's
dude with Mustaine's attitude. I bet him and Lars just were mortal enemies.
Yeah, they still go at it. They've gotten better, but yeah, but then the fans too are divided. So you have the Bay Area 5, right? That really started thrash. Yeah. If we were doing a video, you'd see my Death Angel shirt on. So you got Death Angel, Testament, Megadeth, Metallica, and Exodus, and those are the 5 original metal bands that came out of the Bay Area that kind of set thrash metal up. You had an East Coast kind of thing with Anthrax going on as well. You had Slayer involved in that too, but still different styles of music that are coming together. So for those that are Metallica, Megadeth fans, there is usually, and I think we even did an interview with a friend of yours from Virginia where we just complained at each other because I always choose Megadeth over Metallica.
We desperately need to dig that back up because it was with Daniel Bradley, epic bass player, and he is the Metallica Megadeth encyclopedia.
Yeah, so I think I think we probably should just re-interview because we had some great conversations there, or we just brush off the old one. But it was a good one. But there will always be a which side do you take?
Yep.
And Megadeth and Metallica, that's the most peaceful war that I can imagine.
Like yeah, it is. It is. But you're right, though. The side picking, even though it's the most peaceful war, it can get kind of real. And the side picking is very real.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. As we wrap this up, because we're coming up on an hour now, hey, I'll give you a choice here. We can do Life Lessons by Slam and Rhett, or we can do What Would Slam Do? Which one you want?
Are those the two choices?
Those are your two choices. Yeah, you don't know the topics, but I'm
feeling real life lesson-y today.
All right, cool. Sorry. Here's our life lesson. We're going to do our life lesson today. Next episode, we will go into What Would Slam Do, and then we'll close it up with some, addition to the shred sequence. Next week, we'll do What Would Slam Do, and we'll do Media Clackers Award next week.
Perfect. Nice.
Or next episode. And we'll probably even have time for yay or nay next time. But let's close it up with some life lessons by Slam and Rhett.
Let's do this. What do we got? What are we lessening today?
The two-handed beer bathroom handoff procedure.
Oh, my fucking God. Okay, so hold on. Let me just make sure that I understand the situation. You and your buddy both have beers.
Yes.
And you're heading to the bathroom. Am I right so far?
Accurate.
Okay, all right. You get to the bathroom, Do each of you have a urinal, or are you holding each other's beers for a
Yeah,
urinal?
see, that's the question because so here's the nuance. Two-handed beer bathroom handoff procedures. Do we each have two beers in one? Yeah, we have a beer in each of our hands. So we got four
That's what
beers.
I'm wondering because, Rhett, I am totally the guy where if the bar line is long enough, I'm getting two beers for myself.
Yeah. We experience that all the time, right? Because you're not going to wait in line during the show.
Yeah, you're gonna crush a beer,
Mhm.
maybe throw the can somewhere random,
Mhm.
and then you're gonna crush another beer. Or, if you're feeling nice, maybe you're only on your first beer, can probably goes in the trash can. We don't want to be disgusting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, all the time. So we're in the bathroom. Let's go ahead and assume that we both have two
Okay.
beers.
All right. Where do we go? Yeah.
Now what?
I don't know what to do with my hands, literally, because they're full of beer. And it's like,
So here's what I'm thinking this looks like. I mean, I don't know where the question was heading, but I am definitely going to oh, that's hilarious. I just told Chris we were talking about the Bay Area 5 because he's totally a thrash guy like you.
Yep.
And he's all Nelly jelly over there.
Yep.
So okay, I don't know that we either of us know what the actual question involved here is, but I do want to go through what I think this is going to look like.
Okay.
So we're double fisting beers. They're probably, just to paint a mental image, they're probably 25-ounce can beers, those venue beers that you get for $16. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we've got that rocking. We get in there. We're in a 3 urinal situation, and 2 of the urinals are taken. Okay. So now we've got to debate who has to piss, because clearly we're going to do this one at a time somehow.
Yeah.
With these beers.
Yeah.
So whoever has to piss the worst, like maybe you peed a little bit in the beer line and it is go time.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to, I think we're building a beer tower, dude. I think we're doing a 2 beers per hand beer tower.
Yeah, I think you're right because there's not tables to put stuff on. It's
no, and then even if there are, like, dude, venue bathroom, that's there. Even I have a line somewhere.
Yeah. You're gonna save your earpods from just falling into the airplane toilet.
Yeah.
But
how blue are they again? Yeah.
But you're right because now your beer's gonna taste like blue urinal cake, right?
Oh yeah. Oh God. Yeah. If we mix that in with the whole with the urinal cakes. Yeah. So you got to leave your beer somewhere. It's going to be awkward as fuck. And if people bump into you, there might be a catastrophe. But the only way here, Rhett, is to do a beer stack. Do a one-handed beer stack times 2. And then, so we got to, you know how it is. You got to break it down Barney style or people will fuck this up. So the changeover, right? When one is done, you got to immediately turn around. I'm going to say don't wash your hands, just to keep it a little dirty for everybody that kind of is into that sort of thing.
I respect that.
But the person that's done has to grab the top beers. Those now become the bottom beers on his stack. And then actually it works out perfect because when second dude is done, he grabs the top beers and then you're ready to fucking roll.
Okay. Now you prefer the stack method as opposed the lateral stack method as opposed to the stack method where if I'm going to go first, I stack my left-handed beer onto my right-handed beer and then I hand you to your right hand both of my beers. So your right hand is holding both of my beers. And then I'm able to...
That way the person is designated to a hand rather than a level.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, there's a lot here. This makes you think.
No, it does. And because you got to also keep in mind, you're going to be a little drunk. What's easier to remember?
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
I know you well, but I don't know what's living in that mouth.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot to take in there. So we're gonna close it out there. And hey,
yeah, let everybody ponder that for a little while. It's a tough one.
I think you guys need to just kind of take it all in. Feel pretty good.
Well, and they need to know that the reason this is coming up is clearly because Rhett has seen some terrible venue bathroom etiquette.
Just awful bathroom etiquette. So anyway, but yes, well, Slam, it's been a good hour.
It's been a great hour. I can't wait till the next one. And everybody else that's waiting till the next one, until next month, tomorrow, next year, keep it metal and keep it classy. And most of all, stay safe.